I'm Robin, and we are Silian Rail.
And I am Eric.
And we are still Silian Rail.
Hi there, I'm Mike Forts, and welcome back to Parlour. We're still in the Bay Area this week, but we're going to head across the bay to Oakland, where we'll drop in on a regular practice day for a band called Silian Rail. As if it weren't cool enough that their name is an obscure reference from American Psycho, this band's music consists entirely of instrumentals that function as if bassists and singers never needed to exist in the first place. Played by just two people, drummer Eric Kuhn and guitarist Robin Landy, Silian Rail's music works equally well as film music and as tuneful instrumental indie rock. The two are old friends, and, well, I'll let them tell the story.
That is a cute story that we've told a lot, because it's cute, but anyway. We both moved out here completely separately, and I moved into a place that I found on Craigslist, who a guy named Ben lived there, who I also knew from North Carolina back in the day, like middle school, which is when I knew Eric. So Ben and Eric played in a band out here together, and so the first night in that new apartment was a birthday party for Eric, who I hadn't seen, since whatever, I was 13 and he was 12. And so anyway, yeah, it was a complete coincidence, serendipity, bizarre thing. And so, yeah, we just started playing music together because I knew he was a awesome musician. I hadn't played in a band with anyone for a long time, so it was fated.
It was fun surprise, and we didn't have any intention of ever being a band. Like, that first night that we re-met, we just sort of like casually talked about maybe playing sometime, and then just got together, and it was immediately really fun for both of us.
We're pretty prolific. We write pretty fast, I think, just because, I don't know, playing together is really fun in general, and I think having two people helps just be able to write quickly. We've got a couple of new songs. We pretty much have enough stuff to record another album right now. We just recorded our album last spring, so we just fart them out.
What do I call the second track on the album?
Oh, yeah.
How do I pronounce that?
Well, we wanted to just have it be nothing, but then for, like, mastering, encoding stuff, you have to have something, like, it can't just be blank, so you just have a period. But
We've actually...
So, in iTunes, I think it is a period, yeah.
There was a really funny moment, too, when a friend of ours played us on college radio, and they played that song into the next song, because that song's kind of like an intro to Chiba. And when she went on the air afterwards, there was an awesome, like, stumbling pause, because she hadn't planned how to handle it. She was like, "So, you just heard Silian Rail with..." and then there was just awkward silence. Or actually, I guess it's not awkward, that's the song title.
Yeah, she
Silence.
got it right on.
Little did she know.
We shared the space with a bunch of friends of ours and other bands that I'm in, which I like. Like, I like it being like a little band family space.
How many bands total share the space?
3 and one other fellow who has a room back there for kind of solo stuff, but it's us and Built for the Sea and Aimless Never Miss.
And Eric, you play in all 3 of them, don't you?
I do.
How do you do that
So he lives
and
here,
not
basically.
pass out every day?
I do pass out every day.
He just
much.
lives down at the practice base pretty much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think since we've been here, like, I don't know, has there been a day where you haven't come down here?
Last week there was 2 days in a row that I didn't come down here, but other than that, I think that's...
Rare vacation.
Yeah. But I love it. I mean, I have an endless appetite for music playing.
As for what fuels that endless appetite, Eric and Robin explain how the setup in their practice space helps in that regard, and we end with a question that, surprisingly enough, they hadn't ever been asked before.
Well...
Definitely the plastic lights.
We got...
I mean, the plastic, covers is very inspiring. No.
I would say we have made an effort to keep it kind of,
Moody.
yeah.
But yeah, it was really bright. Like Eric said earlier, it was like a hospital waiting room. So we decided to soften it a little bit, and it helps us be more free when it's a little bit darker, I think.
Yeah.
Even though that sounds really cheesy, but it's kind of true.
Yeah, there's something that's a little more, puts you more at ease, I guess. And these rope lights too, which one of the other bands added.
Pretty sweet.
Make a nice touch, I think.
What's the story behind this this yellow piece of art here?
A friend of ours just made that for us, actually. It's a test screen of a little design that he made. His name is Jonathan Fisher. He's a really good, I don't know what you would call his art, screen artist. And he usually does these like big cityscape pieces that are like half the size of this wall, and he wanted to get into doing band posters and just surprised us with that, which I like a lot. Apparently he wrote our name 500 times to get the right font that he would like.
500.
So that'll eventually...
Booster.
Yeah. It'll eventually be like a big, fancy band poster.
No one's actually ever asked us that question.
Yeah.
Ever.
Really?
Yeah, which is... I mean, I think it's kind of an interesting question. I don't think it's not like, where'd you get your band name? Though...
You already know that. It's
Yeah.
already bands. I have answers already.
Yeah.
If you-
Ask him first, I'll think.
A drummer named Chess Smith is one of my favorites. He plays in a band called Secret Chiefs 3. He also plays with Shoo Shoo, and he has a solo project. He's kind of all over the place. He's a musical slut like me. So he's one of my favorites. And Roy Haynes and Philly Joe Jones.
Oh yes, familiar with them.
And Sheila E. And Aphex Twin, though not a drummer, his drum ideas have definitely been very inspirational.
I used to listen to like a lot of Cat Power, so like kind of like mellow, slightly bluesy guitar stuff. I think kind of helped shape my playing. But I don't know. Lately, like I always mention Broken Social Scene in interviews because they're kind of one of my biggest musical loves of the past few years. I don't know. Like lately, we both listen to just like a lot of local friends bands and stuff like Tartuffe. I feel really cheesy mentioning this, but my boyfriend plays in a band called From Monument to Masses, and they definitely rubbed off on me as well. So
That drummer is one of my favorite drummers too, but I didn't know if we were trying to not mention it. So.
yeah,
Now that that's out in the open.
Struggle before deciding to say something, but it's a big one. So
Yeah, and I would say, like Rodham was saying, can't emphasize enough how many awesome bands there are around here that are inspiring. Tartuffe, like she said, and Low Red Land, and Birds and Batteries, and the other bands in this space, and who else? Rademacher. There's lots of them, too many to remember at once.
Yes, like I was saying last week, we are very musical here in the Bay Area. And to hear some more of the Bay's indie sounds mixed with a few bands from outside the area, check out the free compilation distributed by Lower Class Revolt that's linked in the article up on Popdose. Silian Rail contributed a tune called The West to that comp, and as it happens, it's also the song they're playing in the performance footage we shot in their practice space. Don't forget to check out the downloads too. Thanks for hanging with us, and I'll see you next week when we talk with one of the bands that shares the same practice space and drummer as Silian Rail. Enjoy!